Beat Arsenal at Craven Cottage in November, there wasn't much sign of trouble ahead. Now though, after a run of 9 games without a win, Fulham are in the brown stuff. And they've never won at Arsenal. Not that Arsenal are exactly invincible at the Emirates. This month they lost at home against West Ham before beating Bolton and Man City. There for us today, Steve Wilson.
If ever there was a time to end that winless run at Arsenal, this is it. Fulham on 36 points and wondering where the 37th is coming from, are in dire need of a bit of North London history today. But only 4 wins in the last 50 away games over 2.5 years tells its own story. One of the less significant aspects of Manchester United's win at Everton yesterday was that Arsenal are now certain of a top 4 finish. That's the minimum they expect. No Ljungberg or Rosicky today because of hamstring injuries. Fabregas and Baptista return. Jens Lehmann, 38 in November, signed a new 1-year contract this week. Fulham make one change. Vincenzo Montella is sacrificed to include a 5th midfielder, and that midfielder is Klaus Jensen, his first start in 4 months, coming on his 30th birthday. Still no Ian Pearce, who hopes to be fit for Saturday's home game with Liverpool. It has been a week touched with sadness for everyone connected with Arsenal Football Club. Not only the loss of Alan Ball, who played 217 times for Arsenal in 5 years at the club, but also the loss of Arthur Milton, a league champion with Arsenal in 1953, and a former England international at both football and cricket. Both lives to be celebrated here at the Emirates Stadium by a minute's applause. Fulham are going to allow Arsenal all possession they like in this half of the field. Kolo Touré forward, beautifully judged ball, nice running from Adebayor. Alexander Kleb is there, Adebayor again. Baptista in the middle, and it's 1-0 Arsenal already! Less than 4 minutes on the clock. And if Fulham's plan was to contain and frustrate, that plan has already been undone, and so simply too. Lovely ball to Adebayor. Got outside Bocanegra too easily and just set it up for Baptista. A very, very straightforward goal, and Fulham are up against it already at the Emirates. History in this fixture set against them from the start. Now the scoreline set against them too. Bocanegra with his head. Brian McBride for Fulham here. Good movement left side from Carlos Bocanegra. Boué just caught him. Fulham will have a free kick here. Their first opportunity to really trouble the Arsenal goal because of Eboué's foul. It's Davis with a free kick, low into Klaus Jensen. Arsenal have cleared and might break here. Fabregas on the ball. Now it's Clichy. Clichy won't be caught. Fabregas and Baptista forward. Kleb and Adebayor arriving. Clichy to Fabregas. Oh, and missed. Baptista could have had a second. You just don't catch Gael Clichy. 4 in red managed to keep up with him. And that's a really good chance for Baptista. That's Rossini. It's Clichy. Terrific run by the left back. Finds Adebayor. And now Kleb found by Baptista. Fabregas wants it. Baptista arrives! Well, in 15 minutes he scored 1 and missed 2. Great Arsenal break, and Clichy at the start of it again. Teed up for Baptista. Needs to hit the target from there, Baptista. And at least make the goalkeeper make a save. Fabregas finds Kleb. And Adebayor is there. And Adebayor back to Kleb. Alexander Kleb here, Fabregas has dropped off, it's Fabregas! It's a very good save by Niemi. Well, that's kept Fulham in range of Arsenal. This was a lovely move again, Adebayor heavily involved. Watch Fabregas, great awareness just to check his run. Got the pass he was looking for too from Kleb, didn't quite find the finish. Good save by Niemi. Here's Baptista. Kleb needs to stay onside, and he did, but Bocanegra concedes the throw. Here's Eboué. Kleb, Emmanuel Eboué. Fabregas took it away from Brown, Bocanegra took it from him. Baptista, Diaby, Clichy outside him, this is Clichy. Delicate cross to Adebayor! Oh! Tremendous save by Niemi. Well, if Arsenal took even a third of their chances, they'd be title contenders, no doubt. They might have had 5 in this game so far, and Niemi has denied them again here. Here is an historic moment for Arsenal Football Club. Vic Akers, a real familiar face on the dugout behind Arsene Wenger, but also manager of the Arsenal ladies, holds aloft the Women's UEFA Cup, which means that Arsenal are the first ever British side to be the ladies' champions of Europe, having beaten Umeå this afternoon 1-0 over 2 legs, with a 1-0 victory in Sweden a week ago in the first leg, followed up by a 0-0 draw at home. Arsenal ladies are the champions of Europe. Header from Eboué finds Fabregas. Baptista. Kleb, too much room. Closed down by Davis, then by Kristen Val. Manages to find Adebayor! And another one goes begging. Well, sometimes when you watch Arsenal's approach play, you wonder how they don't reach double figures. But sometimes when you see their finishing, you wonder how they ever score at all. Here's McBride and Jensen. Jensen shot! It's a goal kick. Now Fulham have just been waiting for that kind of opportunity. It's nicely worked. Half a yard of space for Klaus Jensen, but he's well capable of hitting it sweetly from that kind of distance. He wasn't that far away. Volts now with Kleb. Adebayor. Adebayor chased by Brown, good run by Adebayor, but he couldn't beat Niemi. He had no one to pull it back to. Michael Brown was walking a tightrope here. He thought about making the challenge. If he had, I think it would have been a penalty, but look, there was no one there for Adebayor to feed it into. Had to go for goal and couldn't beat Niemi from such a tight angle. Radzinski and Dempsey for Fulham. It's their throw. Those Arsenal fans are looking a little bit disgruntled and not terribly impressed by the way their team has played in the second half. Zapmite towards Helgeson. Jens Lehmann comes, didn't get much on it. It's Davis! Flag's up, it's not going to count. Davis thinks he scored. The flag was up. I think Davis has scored. Fulham have equalised, but the flag was up down on this near side by John Holbrook as as Lehmann was lobbed by Simon Davis. Lehmann came here. Didn't seem to be any contact from Helgeson on the keeper. Davis has put it into the back of the net. The linesman had his flag up. I'm not sure why, neither of Fulham or Arsenal, but Davis has scored for Fulham, and it's one each, and just try putting a price on that goal. Here's Dempsey. Volts has got forward. Helgeson and Dempsey are up there for Fulham. Moritz Volts looking to take on Clichy. Put behind by William Gallas, and Fulham have a corner kick. Well, if Fulham were to snatch a winner here in the last 10 minutes, they'd virtually be safe. Davis to take. Fulham have 5 inside the penalty area. Davis with the corner. Oh, what a chance that was. Dempsey over the top of the crossbar. Poor defending by Arsenal. Look at this, nobody's run with Dempsey. Michael Brown for Fulham, they're scrapping for everything here. It's Helgeson. Just might hit Arsenal on the break, you never know. It's Helgeson. Brown is forward. Volts has got forward. It's Michael Brown running at Kolo Touré. Beat Kolo Touré. Lehmann with the save. Brown there. You wouldn't bet against a Fulham winner here. What an upset that would be. But can Arsenal counter? Fabregas, who better to get them going? Adebayor. Emmanuel Adebayor! Could be the winner for Arsenal. Fabregas at the heart of the break. Who else? Emmanuel Adebayor with a glorious finish. They've had the quality throughout, and at last in the second half they show it. It's a beautiful finish by Adebayor. It's Adebayor again. And here's Fabregas, and here's Diaby, and Kleb's in all kinds of space. It's Kleb. It's a penalty. Moritz Volts brought down Alexander Kleb, and Arsenal have a penalty. It's a clumsy challenge that never threatened to reach the ball. Mark Clattenburg had a perfect view, and Arsenal have the opportunity to put this game beyond Fulham. Gilberto against Niemi, 3-1. And Fulham will not come back from that. Defeat again for Fulham.
We were a bit naive, to be honest. I mean, a point would have been a fantastic result here. Certainly on the basis of the first half, it would have been a fantastic point. I think we just got a rush of blood to the head and went hell for leather looking for the 3 points, perhaps trying to put the season to bed today. Ultimately, we were undone by, you know, an Arsenal side that missed their chance in the first half and took them when they got the 2 in the second half.
We want to finish third. We want to respect the fans who come and pay to watch a game. We want as well to improve our team play, and that's a good opportunity. But as well, we want to be fair to the league. You know, you want to play your home game to try to win them, because everybody's fighting at the bottom not to go down, and just we have a responsibility to be fair to everybody who is in there.
Today we just told ourselves we have to give more, we have to do our best, and at the end we won it, so I think we are very happy. But it's a frustration that I don't know what happened, whether we lose concentration or not. I think we have to work really hard on that, so as soon as the match started, we have to keep on going to the end of the game.
Chris, I watched that game with you, and I expect to see nothing but Schadenfreude just rejoicing in their misery, but quite the opposite. You were desperate when when Arsenal went ahead again at the end. How did it feel watching them? Painful?
Yeah, I think maybe people expect me to be like that, but I'm not. You know, I'm still firmly in the Fulham camp, if you like. simply because, you know, if for nobody else, the players and the supporters were always very good to me, and I mean, I'm as desperate as anybody involved with Fulham.
It's the first time you've watched 90 minutes, is this one, since you've left?
No, I've watched the games I've had DVDs and I've watched the games.
Well, you are putting yourself through. You watch your DVDs of the club. That's just such.
I know I'm just a glutton for punishment, unfortunately.
Right. That's just weird,
I
Chris.
think, you know, I still like to keep my eye on it, of course, and I'm still desperate. I think we'll get the points we need, but it was difficult this afternoon. You know, I was watching it with Lee, and at 1-1, you're thinking you've got to take a point. But
and he's been a smug kind of goon that says he's going to win 3-1, which of course irritatingly for all of us.
Well, to be fair, he said 3-1. We went 1-1 last 10 minutes. He said 3-1 to be fair.
So what did you make of it, Lee?
Well, you just sort of feel sorry. I know you feel sorry for Fulham because they played ever so well in the second half, and they were just caught by their own success. You know, they got a chance to win the game, and I think they got a little bit carried away with that and got caught on the break. You know, you very rarely attack Arsenal away from home and then don't get hit on the break, and they did, and ended up paying the price.
So, Chris, in the first half, we were thinking of a cricket score here, and then suddenly it looked for a moment as if quite the reverse might be the possibility. Fulham might actually nick something. So what changed then?
Well, I think in the first half, through the midfield, where if you can see here, Kleb, Arsenal loved the wide men. They loved coming in off the outside, and Diop really should show Kleb back that way, but he shows him that way, allowing Kleb to be running at our back four, and you don't want that as a defender playing against Arsenal. Again, you see our central midfield three here, no pressure on the ball. That's cliche, the left back running unopposed at our centre halves again. Second half, our starting positions are better, much better triggers. Klaus Jensen's getting to Fabregas as the ball's arriving. We stop Arsenal now. Nothing comes of that, but at least they're not playing through the middle of us. And again, the ball goes to Batista, I think. All right, he escapes Michael Brown's pressure, but Maurice Fulch is backing him up, and collectively, second half, we were a lot better. Again, Diop, starting position is much better, and we regained possession much quicker in the second half than we did in the first. This is a fantastic finish from Simon Davis. Great composure. Maybe a hint of a foul from Heider on the keeper, but it was a great finish. And again, Heider Helguson here leaves the near post. Carlos Bocanegra blocks, I think, Toure, and Clint Dempsey does everything right. He comes into the near post. You can see the shaded area,
and he can win it with this.
And he does everything right except at the target. He just needs to let the ball hit his head. Really, unfortunate. You know, and at this stage, it's 1-1. We're going for the win, which I think was a little bit naive of us, really. But and you can see Maurice Fulch there is playing striker, really. Michael Brown does ever so well. But when you open the picture up, that's Maurice Fulch. That's where he should be, the second circle. Instead, that's Clint Dempsey, who's an attacker. And as you see the move building up, we've got plenty of men behind the ball. It's just that
the wrong men.
Yes, the wrong men. And we see here again, Clint Dempsey circled, should be in there. If that's Maurice Fulch, who was a defender, showing him wide, showing the pass wide. Philippe Christian Val should show him outside and allows Adebayor to come inside. And if Zat Knight is in this position, which we are there, that's okay, but he's not. And then Adebayor really has the whole goal to aim at, rather than being shown outside and having a tighter angle.
Right. You're referring to Fulham as we and our.
Yeah, you know, I'm watching the defenders there. We did a lot of work defensively, and you know, the guys work tremendously hard. It's hard when you're playing against a quality team like Arsenal. Things happen very quickly, and you've only got a split second to make a decision. But at 1-1, I think really we should have been happy with 1-1 rather than showing. It's only enthusiasm and naivety that we lost the game.
Lee, the centre halves for Fulham improved throughout.
They did. They started very nervously, I thought. Christian Val and Zach Knight. We see him here. This is the first minute of the game. Toure knocks a long ball. Christian Val has not got a clue that Adebayor's running behind him. Zach Knight's too far away, should come over. Ball goes out in the end for a goal kick, but that was a sign of things to come. Virtually straight from that. Again, Toure. Zach Knight should be a little on the cover. And again, Christian Val doesn't know the run's being made behind him. Ball goes over his head, too simple. In the end, the centre-backs end up crossing, which you don't like as defenders. They get sucked to the ball. Brilliant bit of skill by Adebayor, and he just hangs this up, and what a header this is. But the two centre-forwards, centre-backs are too far near the near post. Look at this, look at the gap between the two centre-halves. That encourages Kleb to run into that gap, and he ends up tracking back, the midfield player ends up tracking back with him, tiring himself out. Doesn't get the ball in the end, but it was just the space. Again, Kleb gets the ball, he's at the back four. One centre-half comes forward, the other one drops off. It makes it easy. The pass is easy, the run's easy, the pass is easy. They're doing different things than when they should be working together. In the second half, they got a lot better. We see the ball here. As they get the ball, both running in the same direction, playing together, they cut the pass out easily. Something was said at half-time, definitely, and again, we picked the piece of action up again. Watch how they work together. Ball comes in, they're closer to Adebayor, marking him. Bocanegra's a bit wide, but he sees the danger, comes in to cover, clears the ball easily. Second half, they were so much better. In the end, they ended up losing the game by maybe a bad bit of defending and overconfidence, really.
At least you don't have to lie awake at night and see the bottom of the Premiership table projected onto your bedroom ceiling here. But here's what it looks like now. Oh, it's ever so tight down there, isn't it?
I think it is, and I think looking at it, obviously in terms of goal difference, 1-0 would have been a lot better than 3-1, because it could go down to goal difference.
Yeah. And here's the remaining fixtures.
You look at them fixtures, and I think Sheffield United are safe now. I think 37 points could keep you up, Adrian, you know. And so that point today that Fulham could have got could have been vital, but they've got to go to Liverpool, and we don't know what side they're going to put out. Weakened side because of the Champions League.
I think because it's at the Cottage, I quite fancy us actually, and like Lee says, depending on what happens in the Champions League. But I think we'll get the result we need, and I think possibly against Liverpool.
Win their 9th Premiership title if they beat Man City next Saturday, and Chelsea fail to win at Arsenal next Sunday. Arsenal now a point behind Liverpool, but both sides have already qualified for the Champions League. Down below them, 6 sides are still chasing the 3 UEFA Cup spots. The bookies now make Charlton 10-1 on to join Watford in the Championship next season. 5 wins from 7 have given West Ham a fighting chance. They're behind Wigan on goal difference, and Fulham are only 1 point better off. So look at too good, too bad. Chelsea. Chelsea fans, football, it's the great leveller, isn't it? This is how miserable it feels, only to be in the cup final, in the good position in the semi-final of the Champions League, and still with a fighting chance for the actual Premiership title. This little lad's on the phone to his counsellor here. It's just too much. And this chap is trying to talk his son out of the game. He's just not leaving until the title comes back. Then in the end, the steward says, go on, off you go. Excellent little warm-up routine from Sheffield United. Not half as good, though, as Neil Warnock's exit from the ground. Kazim Richards does what many players and fans have wanted to do for some time. Oh, there it is. Let's have another look. Bang. Look how the police just ignore it. I think they approve. Nobody was cautioned as a result of this incident.
I know that Adrian's going to say, this shot is what everybody's been waiting to see forever. Me getting thumped.
Yes, that shot is what everybody has been waiting to see forever, him getting thumped. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks to Lee Dixon and Chris Coleman. Join us again next week on BBC One at 10:20. Bye for now.
Mr. Kroenke is now quite a substantial shareholder, and it's only right for us to meet and discuss and understand what his plans are. So far, we've actually heard nothing from him.
If, when you met him, you thought that it would be good for the future of the club for him to become further involved with Arsenal, would you encourage it?
I think the board is there to ensure that the future of Arsenal improves and that we continue the success that we've had in the past, and we'll do anything that we can in order to ensure that.
So if that meant standing aside and a takeover happening, if you genuinely believed that was right for the club, you would be open to that?
We are open to anything that will improve the club, but we're going to have to be seriously convinced that it would improve the fortunes of the club.
Do you know whether or not David Dein is working in league with Stan Kroenke?
I'd rather not comment on that.
With regards to the actual stability of the club now, it obviously affects Arsene Wenger's future.
Well, we don't think the ownership is in question. The board will continue to back Arsene as it has. If he wants to have another 1, 2, 3 players, then the board will support him. The board has 45.5% of the shares of the company. We also obviously have friends which take us over 50%. So they can mount a hostile bid, but they're never going to get control of the club. The future of the club is in the hands of the board.
And as we sit here right now, do you envisage that board and Arsene Wenger being here for some years to come?
Absolutely.
Arsenal ladies have become the first British team to win the UEFA Cup. It follows a goalless draw with Swedish champions Umeå in the second leg of their final at Boreham Wood. Alex Scott's away goal in the first leg in Sweden last week proved to be decisive. Well, Arsenal paraded the trophy at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal ladies are the first team outside of Germany or Sweden to win the competition.